Welcome to the Gleaner's Corporate Coffee Mornings. My guest today is Mr. Christopher Levy.
Good morning, Barbara. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you are President and Chief Executive Officer of our beloved Jamaica Broilers.
Thank
You
you.
provide us with all the lovely chicken, well, most of the chicken that we
That's right.
consume in Jamaica.
That's correct.
And I know you've been around for a long time, but you have seen better days economically, I'm sure, like the rest of our
Yes.
manufacturing sector in
Sure.
Jamaica. So, how is that for you now?
Well, I think, Barbara, that without a doubt, our economy is going through a transition period. I think that the reckoning in terms of just our debt to GDP and just the size of the economy and it's kind of coming home to roost a bit.
Yes.
And I think that some of the decisions that we're taking are certainly overdue. But when you look at the endorsement from the IMF that happened recently, and then when you also look at in the papers even this morning about the ringing endorsement in terms of the financial markets, it is a very comforting report that we're seeing in terms of just on the right track. I think that we're heading down the right road.
So, is it comforting for your bottom line? Are we buying as much chicken as we were buying, let's say, 4 or 5 years ago or more?
Sales, I think sales have definitely, in terms of volumes, they've held up, but in terms of pricing, there's just a very difficult situation in terms of being able to pass on costs to consumers. Last year was a tough year in terms of the rate of devaluation. We had higher corn prices and ingredient costs. So it was a tougher year, but I do think that what we're seeing, and actually the IMF boss spoke about the impact that the reduced importation is having upon the overall economy. And I think we're seeing that starting to take place.
So, does that mean that you're importing less corn? Are you growing more here locally? How is
No,
that
I think
going?
what's happening is the country is actually importing less chicken, so we're seeing the imports reduce. And not only chicken. If you look at it, you're seeing it even with potatoes. Just less food we're importing, which helps us produce more nationally, which checks a lot of boxes in terms of our national growth.
But back to the corn growing thing, would that be something that you could embark on, and would that be profitable for you?
No, I think it's going to be difficult for it to be profitable. I think it's very important for us to use our land as efficiently as we can to grow food, whether that's corn or sorghum or sweet potatoes or red peas. It's almost irrelevant. The thing about it is it's our land producing our food. And I think from a fundamental point of view, it's absolutely critical that that all our land is used to produce for ourselves. Now, if there's an opportunity to produce for export, all the better. But it's really bothersome, and you hear a lot of discussion about it. Well, the land is idle, the land is idle. But I think there's been a real reconciling with this government and the Ministry of Agriculture in particular, that we want to grow as much as we can in our own country.
You started producing free-range chicken a while back. How is that going? I mean, that's my favorite.
It is a good product, eh?
Yes.
It's doing very well. It's a niche market. We export a lot of it, quite frankly. I think we actually export more than we consume here.
So who's buying it from you outside of Jamaica?
We export a lot to Cayman and a few other islands around the Caribbean. It's a certified product. We have a certifying agency, the GAP, I guess, organization that comes down. It's the Global Animal Partnership, and they come down and certify the product. So it's very, they're a recognized body, so it's a very prestigious.
But that shouldn't be hard for you, a hard hurt, because you're HACCP certified already anyway. I mean, I toured your plant, and you're pretty up where.
Yeah,
all of
but
that is
with
concerned.
this product specifically, they actually go through from the feed, through the growing conditions, processing, right back, and then they certify it as a free-range organic product, and it does well. It really does well. I get calls about it all the time.